Hey guys, so welcome back to another episode of Powerful TV. Today I'm here with Elaine. As you know, Elaine judges around the country at many CrossFit events. So the aim of the video today, I suppose, guys, is to put forward a small group we've set up for judges, why you should judge and what we're trying to achieve through the Irish CrossFit Judges Group, and how this is going to help grow the sport for everybody involved, from spectators, athletes, organisers, judges, and all volunteers who want to be involved with CrossFit events throughout the country. So maybe Elaine, start by telling the guys how you got involved with judging. Maybe what was your first event that you judged at, and why did you like it and want to keep returning to judging?
My first event judging was in Celtic Cup in 2015 now, that I think back. Yeah, 2015, so I would be 4 years nearly judging this year, this February just gone. I got involved in judging because, unfortunately, I don't like to compete. It's not my thing, and I loved the judging element of it. I loved to see people progress. I loved to see people pushing that little bit on the floor and being able to help them get through to the other end and seeing the results that come through. So judging for me has always been a huge passion.
Brilliant. So I think what people from the other side of this video need to understand is that the passion that me and Elaine have for judging and organising the judging group is the same passion you guys have to compete on the competition floor. So when you go out and take to the floor, you're trying to get that next rep, you're trying to beat your opponent, you're trying to RX a workout that you've never RX before, all that kind of stuff. That's the same passion me and Elaine have for judging, because we know that behind the scenes, if the judging scene increases in capacity, increases in quality, everyone is going to benefit. So if you're an athlete on the floor and you have high quality judges all of the time in every event that you take part in throughout the country, you know that you're in good hands, you're going to be safe, you're going to be judged correctly, and everything is going to be fair from everyone across the board. That's from an athlete kind of perspective. If you're a gym organiser or a competition organiser and you want to run a throwdown or a bigger event outside of your gym, we want to have a group of judges that's going to be large enough, that are professional, well trained to support your event, so you can reach out to us, can ask for help, so you don't feel like you're going to run an event and have it not be a success from the day one that you start setting it up. From a judge's point of view, if you want to judge or volunteer, all you have to do is contact me or Elaine via Facebook or Instagram, whatever it may be. We have a group organised now where we have discussed different events we're going to work at throughout the year. But the whole aim of the group is to build a trusting relationship with you guys who want to judge with us all of the time. We're going to support you guys with training, whether it be in my gym or another gym or close to events that are going to be on, so you guys can come into the facility, spend time doing workouts and movements that you wouldn't be comfortable judging normally before you go and work at an event, and then you feel much more comfortable on the floor when we do the training. So maybe start, Elaine, by telling the guys why you started the Irish CrossFit Judges Group and what you want to achieve from over maybe the rest of this year.
So I started Irish CrossFit Judges last year. I worked quite closely with different competitions and was able to see that maybe it needed more professionalism. It needed a core group of people who had maybe the same visions that I had, and were able to come on board and get more experience, go to different competitions, and maybe make it as professional as possible as we could be. Those people needed, and obviously the people that were on board with me had the same visions as me. They all loved the competitions, yet they didn't want to compete either, or were former competitors and just wanted to see judging become a lot more professional.
Brilliant. So I think what people need to realise as well, over the next year or two, the sport is going to grow massively, because the amount of people that are involved in it now, I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. So that if the judging doesn't keep up with the rate of athletes, I don't think the competitions are going to be as well run because of that factor. If you're an athlete, you want to make sure your heats are on time and all that stuff like we talked about last week in the video with Vincent, that you want to be well prepared for your workouts and know that they're going to start on time. So judging is massively important to that. If you have enough judges for every event, you can get a break, someone else can go in, they're fresh, there's no waiting around, and everything starts on time. So why should you judge, or why should you judge for us? Obviously, paying judges, I don't think is going to be a long-term solution, not in our country just yet, because the competitions aren't big enough, there's not enough financial support to support that. If you look at numbers, like if you have 100 judges, how can you pay that amount of judges and then supply equipment and other stuff for the event? It takes away from the whole event if you just pay judges and then all the money goes to judges. It just doesn't work right now. But what is happening is more sponsors are getting on board, they're giving stuff for our judges, whether it be food, drinks, all that kind of stuff, t-shirts, goodie bags, and you're supported in that way. But what we're trying to offer as well is extra support in terms of when you get your training, you go to an event and you feel comfortable to judge there, you get your goodie bag and you enjoy your weekend and you leave. Also, with Box Clothing, we're going to sponsor your t-shirt. So if you want to judge on a consistent basis, you will put into our members group. We'll make you up some t-shirts. Make sure everyone in the group that judges for Irish CrossFit Judges is going to be the same. They look the same. They'll be trained the same, and they'll be professional. If you're an event organizer, we'll get your logos or your event logo onto the t-shirt so it looks professional. So everyone's event looks like it's marked properly and looks really well. If you need help and support before an event and you're nervous about a certain event, whether it be a big event out in an arena, please just reach out. Don't go to the event nervous and not feel like there's no support system for you there, or then back out with judging at the last minute because you got a little bit of a fright. That's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to build people up and get the support that you need to build their confidence to judge. Would you like to add anything to that?
Possibly just down to the fact of we do actually need people to make the competitions work. That's why we're here. That's why I do what I do most weekends. I have a family too. I have 2 lads. Most people that know me know I have a full-time job. I train 5-6 days a week. I also, enjoy judging too. Most weekends I'm away judging. If I'm not down the country, I'm in the UK or I'm abroad, or I'm trying to build up, some sort of a CV insofar as that my judging would be my passion. That only happens if you have that confidence in yourself to be able to step out on that floor, and those competition organisers are able to say that we have a core group of people who have the same drive and same confidence and passion that we have. And that's why we're trying to move this group forward, is to make Irish CrossFit as strong as everywhere else can be. And we look at English CrossFit, we look at the French and the Europeans, and they all have a core group of judges who are super professional. They go out on the floor and they all look the same, and as David has said, they all have the same vision as well. So that's what we're trying to do. So if you really love judging, or even if you don't love judging as such and you just want to get involved in it and you want to gain a bit of experience, I would say go for it. It's a huge thing that you can get at the end of it. You're able to walk away and someone will always have had a smile at the end of the day. So it's a great thing to get involved.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not looking for people to judge every single weekend and give up time away from your family and your kids and take days off work. What we're looking for is enough people that can be in the group that we can take a small amount of people to different events all the time. So it's not the same small group of people constantly going to events where they're always under pressure that they have to judge or the competition won't go ahead or won't be run on time. So if we have enough people in total, we can take a small group of people, where there'll be different people every event, and still make the event a success. And that way there's less pressure on every single judge as an individual to always be there and spend the whole time on the floor and that kind of stuff. But like Elaine was saying, after the event is over, you can look back at your event and look at and say that you've helped so many people have a good day, have a good experience, and sometime you'll compete and you'll want that as well. So always remember, from an athlete point of view, if you ever competed and you had a bad day, there wasn't enough judges, heats didn't run on time, it wasn't enjoyable for you, but you're going to do the opposite when you turn up to judge. You're going to help improve that and make the standards better. So that's the whole aim of the group. So I suppose that's pretty much it for now. What we want to do is, if you want to judge, get in touch with me or Elaine Ennis. We'll give you, we'll send you a form to fill in. We want to know if you have any experience. If you don't have any experience, what kind of areas you need more help with, why you want to judge, and that way we have some information of how we can help support you from day one, and we put you into the judges group, and then you can see what events we're going to help with, and if you want to get involved, you can just put your name down, and we'll go from there. So thanks, Elaine, for coming in.
Thanks,
and I
David.
suppose we'll see you guys soon.